Welcome to Recipes for Love. I'm Ellie Love, and today we're making Zuppa Toscana soup. Thanks for joining me today. Here we are, October. Fall is in full swing. You know what else is in full swing? Flu season. And guess who brought it home? Yes, I brought the flu home to the Love Tribe. Of course, we all got it one at a time, so it's been here for 2 weeks. But we are ready for some soup to feel comfort and warmth all the way down to the soles of our feet. So we are going to get started on making the soup today. I've got all of our ingredients set out here. I'm going to talk about them just briefly. So I'm dairy free, so we're doing it a dairy free version, but the recipe that you guys will be able to see will have both a dairy free version and any alterations to make it with dairy if you'd like. We have Italian sausage, bacon, Parmesan cheese, extra creamy oat milk because that's the most like heavy cream, chicken broth, potatoes, garlic, onion, and kale. I have a few pieces uncut so you can see the kale. It's the wrinkly ones. And I'm going to show you how to chop that up so that you don't have the woody stems in it. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so we're going to put the chopped bacon into this pan that I've already started to preheat. We're going to cook that down so it's slightly crisp. This is actually going to be part of the garnish at the very end, but we're going to use the bacon grease to cook the sausage and also the garlic and onion in. So we cook it first. One of the beauties of this particular recipe is it is a one-pot meal, which is wonderful. Less dirty dishes is always a good plan. Now that we have this bacon cooked down, just on the edge of crispy, and as you know, bacon will crisp up a little bit more even as it sets aside. We're going to take it out with a slotted spoon, put it onto a plate with paper towel. Alright, now that we have all of that bacon out of there, we're going to pour most of the bacon grease off into a bowl on the side. We want to leave probably a tablespoon of it in the pan to cook the sausage with, and then we can add a little bit more back in when we're ready to saute the onions and garlic. It's letting me know that I took the pan off, but I left it on. Alright. There's that. And now we are going to go ahead and add sausage. There we go. That's going to work much better. We want to scramble this up pretty small. I like to make it fairly small. I don't like to get giant chunks of meat in my mouth, but you can make it however you like to make scrambled meat. we've got this all nice and scrambled up. Look at that nice bite-sized meat. Now we're gonna put it onto a plate also with a paper towel to help drain off a little bit of the excess fat. We don't want to impart all of that fat back into the soup. There we go. All that meat out of there. I'm going to set this off to the side. And it looks like we have enough fat. I don't feel like we need to add any more for sauteing the onions and the garlic. We're going to put the onions in first and let them saute for a few minutes. I think everyone's starting to feel better just by the smell of the house, because this smells heavenly. We're going to get these good and soft. We like our onions soft. All right, we have these all sauteed, looking beautiful, just starting to get a touch of color to them. Now we're going to put the garlic in. We don't need to cook the garlic for very long. Yes, that was a fair amount. It takes about 3 tablespoons of garlic. Now the garlic we're not going to saute for very long because we do not want it to burn. We just want to start it to get a bit aromatic, which it is starting to do right now. The healing qualities of garlic alone is just breathing the air. I guarantee you they're getting better already. Now I'm going to add the potatoes to this. This is about 9 small to medium potatoes cut into real nice bite-sized pieces. Now we are going to add 8 cups of chicken broth, so 2 full boxes. And if you pour it this way, you'll get less of the blubbing because air comes in. Last of that. And then we're going to add 2 cups of water. There we go. Let me give that a little swirl. And we're going to let it come to a boil and cook for probably 10 to 15 minutes. Depends on how long it takes the potatoes to get soft. We want them to be fork tender. And then we will add the kale and let it all cook down again for a minute, and we'll add the heavy cream, or in our case the oat milk, and then once everything is hot, it'll be ready to eat. It's that quick and easy. Now I'm going to show you how to chop up the last of this kale while the potatoes finish up their boiling. Kale comes on these very stiff stalks. They're very woody. They don't taste good. They don't really boil down, so you usually don't use them. So little bits of it, there's like small pieces through here, and you just sort of pull those off on the ends, because there's little like tiny leaves on the very bottom. You just pull those off, and then once you get to the part where it's all one solid leaf, you just take your fingers and you grab a hold of it and you just pull. It takes a little bit of elbow grease, but not too bad, and then it just pulls it right off, and you're left with the part that's no good. And then we just slice it all the way to the end, and then just chop this up so that it's smallish pieces. When you put it into the boiling soup, it will cook down and be small and soft and bite-sized, which will be perfect for eating. I'm going to stick this in the bowl, which I have is very full. We'll do the same with these last two stalks. I don't know if they're really called stalks or not, but that's what they seem like, so that's what I call them. Just like that. It's not really hard. I just wanted to kind of show you how it was done. Sometimes things seem harder than they are if you don't actually know how it's done. Now we are going to add the kale and the sausage into this and bring it back up to the boil. The potatoes are fork tender, so they're going to be perfect for eating at the end of all of this. Did run out of a little bit of room in my bowl. We're going to get all that in there. I like to not dump the whole thing in there at one time because it sometimes needs to boil down just a touch to get it all in there. Yum. Oh, we need smell-o-vision. This smells so delicious. Ooh, yep, and it's hot too. Here we are. All of the kale is boiled down nicely. It's going to be nice and tender to eat. Now we are going to add 2 cups. This is the extra creamy oat milk that we like to use. It really adds a nice flavor to this. If you are not non-dairy, you can use heavy cream and it will be just as lovely and like the original recipe. But dairy makes our bellies angry, so we're going to go with the non-dairy stuff. And we're going to bring this back up to a boil one more time, just for a minute to make sure everything's nice and warm. Here we are at the end of everything. It's time to put some of this, oh, look at all that yummy stuff, into our bowl. Make sure you get some of that broth because yum. I'm going to add a little bit of bacon and a little bit of non-dairy Parmesan cheese. And there is a delicious bowl of soup. It's very hot. That is so delicious. I might not be able to taste the rest of it because that was pretty warm. Sorry, my tongue is attached.